I think that what they do differently is they're much more open about connecting people, especially connecting people of influence to interesting startups. And so, generally speaking, the reason people mentor is they want to be associated with success, generally speaking, at some level, and not always financial. They like new ideas and new things. And so, again, it's often, I see it in my own networks, it's often a lot easier for me to get to someone in the United States than it is in Europe, because often in Europe, people hold their cards closer to the vest, as they say, and are a little bit less likely to make introductions. Not sure exactly why that is, because I have sort of a very American mindset on this, for better or for worse. Right, so the scaling question is an interesting question. I think specifically in the Silicon Valley, they have a lot of experience scaling from very small companies to very big companies very quickly, companies like Twitter, Facebook, and others. Part of that is, again, this cultural mindset. There's a lot of soft knowledge around this that at this point Europe doesn't quite have. That said, I think that can change, right? Europe has produced winners and will produce more winners, right? Be it Spotify, SoundCloud, or others, Skype, for example. And that knowledge will come back in the European ecosystem. And also, part of that is risk capital as well, right? So the best investors in the Silicon Valley not only provide capital and financing, but a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and context, which I believe at this point Europe is not quite there, but that can change very quickly. I think it may. I think it depends. I think clearly the Europeans know their home markets better than the Americans would, right? But in terms of in terms of sort of full ecosystem, I think that's why you see the Silicon Valley draw people from all over the world, not just Europe. But I think the key point to remember is that you can't actually imitate the Silicon Valley completely. You can't just sort of replicate it somewhere in Europe. I don't think that would work. It's a singular sort of beast. But you got to take what works there and then map it to European conditions, European culture, European ideas, and hopefully take a hybrid that works.